Wow! From the islands.
You love your little Friday thing, don't you?
I do love Fridays. I just like Fridays in general because it's the glorious end of a glorious week.
I learned something I wasn't aware. Dan and Beef and I spent a little bit of time together in between the show and after the drill, and I wasn't aware this whole time that this is kind of your thing, Beefy, after the drill. This is like your franchise. It can alerted me to that. I wasn't sure, so I mean, I'm just going to start letting you take over a little bit more and driving this thing, and if you need me to weigh in on anything, I will. So I'm just going to return some couple texts and emails if you want, but
that's fine.
You know, if you want to tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, what did you think about this? I mean, I can do that, but I mean, it's after the beef is what I've been told, which is fine. I mean, you're more than capable. I mean, how come I don't have any fun things happening to my face?
It's just a general filter.
Oh, this one we're not going to get the specific things.
Probably go casual, yeah.
Suddenly I got big sunglasses. Should I do like my own,
floral pretend? Three goggles?
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Speaking of three goggles.
That's what they do, man.
Without Boogie Cousins in the fold, the Warriors sort of had to go back to their old mode of being a little more perimeter based.
Also known as dominant.
Also known as still the best team in the league by a wide margin.
Was Boogie in the... He wasn't in the game they lost. They got hurt in game one, right?
No, he got hurt in the last game.
He got hurt in the game they lost. That didn't have anything to do with it. Look, the Warriors learned their lesson. Here's what the Warriors weren't aware enough of. The Clippers had a record this year. 3 times this year, they came back from 25 points down to win a game. No one in the NBA has ever done it in a single season.
That's pretty impressive.
So, most teams in the NBA, when you get them down 31, the game's over. They were long ago thought about fighting back. This Clippers team, having been in that situation, like, well, we're going to keep playing here, and so they won't make that mistake again. Or, from now on, they'll put that thing to bed like they did last night.
Aussie Jag checked in, and Aussie Jag, I had to target Aussie Jag on Twitter yesterday after the show.
You targeted him.
Well, targeted him because there was a story out of Australia. And apparently there's a hot new fashion, not even a fashion trend, a cosmetic surgery trend that men in Australia are doing, and I won't go into great detail, but it's called Scrotox.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't need that engorged in any way or straightened out.
Flattened, smoothed.
I kind of like the wrinkles.
It's kind of good how it is.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some areas are meant to be wrinkled.
Thankfully, Aussie Jag said he's not a participant in the Scrotox. So, good on you, Aussie Jag.
Aussie Jag was in studio with us,
He
right?
was.
Yeah, I could look at that guy and tell you ain't doing no Scrotox.
No.
If you do Scrotox, by the way, call Caitlin.
Yeah. I don't know what you're doing.
What are we doing?
I don't even know.
I bet you know one. Half of these, it's like some of these fashion trends you give us in trending, where you pay $5,000 to wear like a hefty garbage bag.
Yes.
I can't believe. I think these things are like jokes.
Thousands of people are doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone is. But when they come across my desk, I do enjoy them, and I like.
I know you do
because you think they're as dumb as I do.
Well, and plus too, if you're doing a radio show and you're kind of trying to keep it fun and moving, if you went straight by 100% truth all the time, we wouldn't have any good shows.
That's true. Now,
just saying.
Speaking of truth, you
and the American way, and justice.
Something of a truism yesterday, as you started a mantra.
I did.
That we won't let our baseball team dictate our joy or sadness on a day in and day out basis, and yet here you were on my text line yesterday, the group text with me and Dan.
Okay, I wouldn't say this on the air because it was too.
You said a
far.
few things on the text that I'm not going to say, but if you care to share some of them with the Biggins, feel free.
The Braves have this reliever named Chad Sobotka.
You're not a fan.
I hate him.
Yeah. He's kind of for you like what during a brief period in the early 2000s Ryan Dempster was for me when he was closing for the Cubs poorly, where I wanted to kill him.
If Chad Sobotka got in a fight to the death with a feral pig, I would shoot Sobotka. If Chad Sobotka and Kim Kardashian were hanging from a cliff and I could only grab one, I'd stomp on Sobotka's fingers. Those are a couple of...
Yeah.
Those are a couple that best represent my feelings toward Braves reliever Chad Sobotka.
Not a fan.
I mean, and I'll tell you who's going to join that list. Manager Brian Snitker, if he keeps putting Sobotka in the game.
And he keeps putting Sobotka in situations where he can do the most damage.
Yeah, whatever. That's our bullpen. We're terrible. Listen, I will say this. I was thinking this because I am trying not to let my baseball team completely control my mood and my happiness.
It's hard.
The one good thing about the Braves, I will say, is we're not in some middle ground no man's land. The evolution has hit like a little bit of a slowdown here until we get the pitching filled out. We got a good young team with guys under contract. We're fixing to be good for 5, 6, 7 years. This is certainly, we're finding our way, especially pitching wise. But I am content with the roster, the way it's shaped, the way the batting order falls out, the mix of young and experienced. I think that's the only saving grace of coming off a home sweep to the Diamondbacks and going from first place to fourth is that the big picture still feels pretty good. So,
and you've expressed frustration over this as a Braves fan, but it seems to be across baseball confusion, frustration that Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell still unemployed, available. Keuchel came out and it said he'd be willing to do a 1-year deal for just the rest of the year with a team.
I have an answer to that. A reason that's
Okay.
happening. The guys, especially now that we're getting closer. Although I will remind folks that the date of this event is still a couple months away, so this is a dangerous game to play. But there's some thought that teams are waiting until after the Major League Draft to sign either Kimbrel or Keuchel because then you don't have to give up the draft pick.
There is that.
Like if you sign Kimbrel or Keuchel
Right.
before, then you lose a compensatory draft pick to the team that you sign him off of.
Right.
If you wait till after the draft and sign him, you don't have to give it. Now, if I'm the Braves, bump it. I'll give up the draft pick. I need Kimbrel now. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the MLB draft is in June, no? Or is it before then?
Yeah, I think so. Right.
So that's a long,
that's a long time.
That's 50, 60 games from now.
With a bullpen that's really struggling.
Correct.
And there's a lot of teams that are having issues with their rotation that could really use a guy like Dallas Keuchel.
Craig is weighing in on the Magic to win today.
Magic fan.
Magic play tonight against Toronto at home.
Now that's another series like you glossed the series that picked up last night as the series where at least two of those where the clearly better teams have sort of reasserted themselves as dominant. That being Philly over Brooklyn and Golden State over the Clippers. Yeah, they lost a game each, but clearly the better team has established themselves. And I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I think you feel the same way about
Well, I do think that Toronto is better, although I think Orlando reminds me a little bit of the 8-seeded Atlanta team that took the Celtics 7 right before the Hawks built into that period where they were winning.
Right.
That team had like Mike Bibby and Joe Johnson and
right.
I don't even remember the whole roster. I think the Magic could do that with Toronto. They beat them late in the season on the road to help solidify their playoff standing. They've won a game on the road already. I think the Magic will win one of those 2 games at home. And then,
then
I don't think they're winning the series, but it could go 6 or 7. Yeah, whereas I fully expect the Sixers to go win-win and be done. I fully expect the Warriors to go win-win and be done in 5. I think the Bucks, 4 or 5, will be done with Detroit. But the Magic and the Raptors, maybe that one series that lingers a little bit. And I could be wrong, but that would be my gut. So they could win tonight. I mean, with that being my, opinion on that series, then they're going to win one of these 2 games at home. So maybe they do win tonight, Craig.
We'll be watching. And guys, be safe out there. Well, Aussie Jack, you're all right. You're on the other side.
I have something else to also.
Please. Weigh in.
Go to church on Sunday. It's Easter.
It is Easter.
There's a lot of cheesters out there. They go to church twice a year. I would take that with you. I can't get you once a year, maybe twice a year. Christmas and Easter. Cheesters.
The cheesters. Yeah. Weather will be great for you Jacksonvillians on
Sunday
Easter weekend. As the weather's blowing through this afternoon, it's going to be nasty.
It is going to be nasty today.
It's going to be nasty this afternoon. I saw a photo of the radar. It's like a wall of weather that's coming eastbound. So it's going to roll through the western counties here pretty soon, and then it'll come our way. So if you have anything to get done, get it done
CEO,
now.
You know what that stands for?
What's that?
Christmas, Easter only. Oh, he said it. I knew that.
Christmas and Easter only. The CEOs.
Cheester, CEOs.
Cheesters. It all applies. Until tomorrow. Or I should say Monday. We're out, Googans. Peace.